Hello, everyone, and good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Jill. Good morning, everyone. Our message for today has to do with how we respond to other people, what we would say to them in regards if they have something great going on in your life and you want to, maybe you don't view it as something great or positive. Maybe you might have some judgments or opinions on them. And it's like, how do you respond to those people? Okay. I want to say the reason, this is a very odd reason, not that this is actually happening in life, but there was somebody that popped up in my head this morning in regards to, she's a younger girl, and it popped up in my head. If she were to say, hey, not going to say how she would say my name, but hey, Kim, I'm pregnant. And then in my initial ego mind was like, what? Is she pregnant? Like, oh my gosh, like, what, huh? And then I got the message, no, like, Kim, how would you respond to her without taking away her power, without putting your opinion and judgments onto this? Like, what would be a positive statement to her to not let her go into the state of fear, not let her go into the state of her disappointments within herself, potentially, or anything like that. So then I sat there and I tuned in and I said, what would be a statement I could say? I could choose to say, well, how do you feel about that? And kind of putting it back on her. But then I'm agreeing with her, with what she's saying, and does that really fit well with me? So say she says, oh, I'm super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. And inside of me, maybe I don't feel that's great. So then I am putting myself in a judgment position where that's not actually what my truth is. I'm not actually saying, oh my gosh, that's great, because I don't believe that. Okay? And this is not actually happening in real life. This is just a scenario popped up in my head. And so I sat and I thought, man, what is a really good thing to say? And they said, how about you say, you are going to be an amazing parent, because you know in your heart she would be an amazing parent. Like, wow, yeah, she would. So they're like, that's the stuff you say. You're saying it with your own truth because you know that person would be amazing. You're not taking away her power or her excitement, but you're giving her power to know that she can do it. It's not a detriment for her to have a child young. Like, wow, like, okay. So then I got pulled into, okay, that's a different scenario than most people. They're like, well, no, think about if you're going to a coffee shop or them walking into Caribou and somebody got the last of something and you're just like, oh. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry I got the last one. And I want to say to them then, you know what? I really hope you enjoy that because it tastes so well. You're honoring yourself, and they don't have to say I'm sorry. They don't have to say I'm sorry. They don't have to feel bad for taking something that's the last thing of, that they didn't have any choice in that one. You're like, today's a day that you need to pay attention to those, how you deliver your messages to other people. You can still be in your truth. You can still be honoring yourself and your belief systems and still uplift other people.
Yeah. That is interesting. It's I sometimes just feel like we need new words.
Yeah.
To describe things. Because yes, you're honoring your truth. You're being, you're not trying to, okay, years ago someone talked about putting a smiley face over, like an empty gas tank.
Yeah.
Like, that's denial. So you're not wanting to be in denial. Like, if you have kind of an empty gas tank about it, you have an empty gas tank about it. But you don't have to necessarily pass that on to the next person. And that's, I think, what we often find that we do unconsciously is, if I'm feeling kind of, say, empty gas tank depleted right now, I'm going to say to Kim something that will get her to join me in that, even if you don't necessarily want to, Kim.
Right.
Oh, they're not you specifically, but using the example you talked about of say a young person who you said she was pregnant or whatever, and you're concerned is what it is in that situation. You're going, oh, I'm concerned. Well, yeah, a lot of times you go, oh, geez, that's going to be hard. That's difficult. Or see, I'm concerned because of your age, but I think I know you have the capacity to be a great parent. So yeah, it becomes very affirmative. It's very interesting. It's like traveling the whole experience, as you said, in your truth and truthfully. We're not in denial about it. It's I think a nice thing to do is to take a pause. It's like that, we call it kind of an awkward pause. I think we're very quick to respond to people. Hey, Kim, I got some great news. Oh, yeah, what's that?
Yep.
Whatever it is. And then you feel like you have to instantly respond. Where I do think we can slow that down a little bit. Give me a moment. Give me a moment to process that, or collect my thoughts, or some little filler to actually give ourselves a moment. This is really important. It's so quiet. It's so like calm. It's almost like I sense it as almost like a little whisper, but it's so important. That's what I'm getting.
Very important today.
Yeah.
Very important. I don't know. The feeling I get from this is like very, very mindfulness, the way you respond to people, especially today, for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure why that is, but for you, the people that are listening, whenever you're listening to this, very important on how you respond. It can change the trajectory of your life, the way you respond, and change a relationship, the way you respond. That's how important it is today.
Loving, kind, calm, mindful responses today. They're easier than we think. They take commitment. You have to decide you want to do it and do it. And it is easier than we think it is, and the results are phenomenal. They are so beautiful when you do it. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, Kim, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and enjoy your quiet, calm, loving, kind, mindful day. All right, until next time.